Hi everyone and welcome back to my YouTube channel. And in this video, we're going to creating here and basic chat applications using Pythons and Flask. So you can see here a chat room. So let's give it here an username. Let's say Misho, and let's give it here a room name. Let's give it here. Let's say Adda, like that. Now let's click on joins, and you can see Mishu join the rooms. Now let's give it here an username. Let's say Chando, and now I give it here a room name. Let's say Adda. I just give it here a wrong room names, and now click on joins. So you can see Chandu join the rooms. Now if I send the message, let's say hello, and now if you click on send, and you can see here no message is coming on here. But if I'm going to make it correct and click on joins, and you can see Chandu join the room and Chandu join the rooms. Now I can easily pass the message from it. So let's say hello. Let's say you can say that. Let's say hello, and now if I click on send, and you can see message is coming on here. Now if I send the message from it, so let's say hello Misho, like that. And now if I click on send, then you can see Chando is saying hello Misho. And now I can also leave it, and you can see Chando left the rooms. So in this video, we're going to creating here the application from scratch. So let's go. In order to building here our basic chat applications, we're going to using here the Flask framework, and the programming language always Pythons. So first, what I can do, we're going to import it here some of the important library, and after that, we're going to creating here our applications. So first, we're going to import here the Flask. So let's say from Flask, we import the Flask, the render templates, and the request. Now using this one, we can basically creating here and web servers. I mean, using Flask, we can creating here and web servers. Now, why this render template? So render template actually help us to rendering here the HTML file. It's mean that it basically serving here the HTML file from these templates folder. If you see that we have an index.html file, it's mean that it will just load here the design file that you can see on here. Chat room, the username, the room name, the giants, the leap, or the time message, or the send buttons. So it will just going to serving here the HTML file in from our server side. Okay. So now what I can do, you're going to also import the request. So request is actually help you to identify here the socket client. I mean, I'm talking the socket ID, because in the case of socket, you have a server, also you have a clients. So using request, you can basically identify here the connected client ID or the socket ID. Now from flux underscore socket IO, we import the socket IO, the join room, the leave room, and the sends. Now, what is this socket IO actually? The socket IO is basically my web socket support. It will give you that. And the join room, so that you can join in a participate access specific rooms. So let's say I just give it a room number, let's say Chando01. So if I do the chatting in Chando, so it will not work. Okay. I mean, you are not in the same rooms. For handling the multiple types of chattings, that's why you're going to using the join rooms. And leave room means, let's say you are joining in a one room, and you can also leave from here. And send is obviously for the send the messages. It's been the join room and the leave room. It's basically for the room management. I mean, because you need to, we can do it in a multiple ways. Now what I can do, you can creating here, basically creating here an applications. So let's say app is equal to flux underscore name. So you're going to basically creating here flux applications. And after that, we simply going to config it with a secret key. Okay. So app.config the secret keys and the secrets. And after that, we need to creating here and socket IO objects in order to creating here our applications. So socket IO and passing here the apps and the codes allowed origins, because you're going to connect to it to our Flux servers and JavaScript code. Now, why these ones? We will talk it later on. Okay. So then after that, you're going to creating here a state so that you can manage the state, because you have the multiple rooms. It may be the multiple rooms. So for the specific rooms, you need to also change here the specific chat as well. So that's why you need to also change actually handle here the state of the each of the users, like that. Now we need to basically creating here the three functions. One is for giants, another was for leave, and the third one is for the sending the messages. First, what I can do is simply going to creating here and routes, and we basically rendering the templates index.html, because this is nothing but my index.html file, basic HTML files. And after that, you're going to basically creating here the three methods is basically the join methods, the leave methods, and the send methods. Okay, like that. Now you can see we're going to basically creating here and join methods using the socket IO. we need to initialize it like before that, so that our method can easily understand this thing. Yes, this is the join methods. So now socket.io.on, you're going to give it here joins, and after that you're going to creating here and functions called def joins and passing here the data on it. Now data is basically nothing but my sid, I mean my user socket id, and the username and the roam names. If I see on the applications, you can see we have a username, also the roam name. So if the roam name is matched, then we can basically join the row on here. So quite complicated, I know that, but it's look like the chat applications that we do in messengers or WhatsApp like that. So sid and request.sid is nothing but the socket id and the usernames and the room itself. Now if the sid in users, if the socket id is already in my user state, it means that the room is basically created. So if the room is basically created, what we can do, we can do chattings in this room. Now if the sid in user, so we basically taking here the old rooms, and if any user basically clicking here the leave button, so he can also easily leave it from here. Okay, so you can see leave rooms and the old rooms. So if he's the old rooms, he can easily lab the room from here, and it will also deleting here the usernames. So from the user.sid, with the sid, because it's also taking here the socket id, quite complicated, I know that. With the socket id with the username, I need to delete it, because username may be the separate, the same actually. Because let's say I just give it here my username, let's say Mishu. So like me, many of the users have the same names. So that's why you need to also take care of the sid, not usernames. So that's why we also taking here the sid, and from this sid we are going to give it to here the usernames, and then you can leave the room and to the old room actually. Because if I'm going to leave it from here, I need to also delete it from the state. Okay, now if the sid is basically user, then you can do that. Otherwise you could join the rooms and with the user id of this ones and with the room id, and just going to give it here and send message, yes, user is right now in the rooms. Now this is nothing but for the join. This is nothing but the joins. Now what about the messages? So if I see this, we're just creating here and message functions, and then we're creating here functions called tap messages and passing here the data. So sid. So if the sid is not in the users, so we are going to return it, because you are not able to send the message on here because you are not in room yet. Okay. So then users and the rooms and the username, and then the message that is sent by the user, it will actually show in the pop-up, right? And the lib is super simple, nothing fancy. Just you need to take in the SIDs. If the SID is basically the user, so you can basically leave the room from it. Okay, super simple. You can see that. Just you take the usernames and the room name, just delete it like that. And otherwise, if any kind of problems like your internet connection is lost, so it will just leave this one. Okay. Now, if I go inside this index.html file, that you can see that we basically creating here and basic Flask applications. So we just added here the socket IO, the CDN format in the script, and also added here the Tailwind CSS. So it's basically an super simple UI that you can see on here. And then after that, what I can do, we basically have a button called for the joins and for the leaves. So this button actually calling in the join rooms and the leave rooms. Now see, our code is basically in our server.py, and if I see that we don't send any kind of request to our index.html file, you can see index.html file, we don't give here any kind of request on it. Now how can you basically connecting here these servers to this index.html? That's quite complicated, right? But no, see, we actually added here the socket IO. See, we are not going to passing here any kind of parameters to this render template via the server index.html. We directly connect to the JavaScript to the Flask like that. Now what I can do, we basically creating here two functions, join rooms and the leave rooms, and another one is for the chat box, so that you can show the chat information on it, and the message input, which is taking the message input from the users. So we basically creating here the three methods. One is for the join rooms, another one is for the leave room, and another one is for the send messages. Now we are going to creating here a script, because this is a JavaScript code. So we are going to basically initialize here the socket IO, and then after that we are going to basically creating the functions called the join rooms. So if the username.value or room.value is not provided, so you can say the username and the room is basically required and return it. And then after that, we are going to using his socket.emit to join and taking the usernames and the room from these functions. And after that, we basically calling here the function called the leave rooms, and the send messages, you can send messages, and the socket dot on messages. So now you may think that why you basically creating here the code in the JavaScript, right? So we already added the code in the server.py, right? But here one catch actually. So if you see that actually, that you can see, in this case, yep, here you go. In this case, we basically creating here a socket IO for in the case of JavaScript, and as well as we can connect it to our server.py. So super simple, okay? Because you can using the same socket IO. It's been that we have two different things. One is the server, which is nothing but my Flask servers, and this is nothing but my client. That's the catch actually. So you can see that we have the socket IO, and then you have the JavaScript code on it. Okay, so it will running in the two different things, so that we can continuously connect to the servers and the client, server and the client, like that. Okay, so we basically creating in the emit. So you should also know that what is the emit for the joins, and inside this emit you can give it here the join methods, or you can also give it here the leave methods, and as well as you can give it to here the messages that you can see socket.emit. If the you need to send the messages, you can basically send the messages on inside that. Okay, and now socket.on messages, and function is messages, and then we taking here the chats. So get element by id with the chats, and the create element with the p, and after that you can add it to the text and append the child, and then it's called that off if you have the more amount of data. Okay, so don't worry about this code. You will get this code in your video description as a GitHub link. Don't worry for that. Okay, it's quite complicated, I know that, because we are creating here two things in a two way. One in the Flux, another one is in the HTML. Two things, the Pythons and the JavaScript, they do different manners. So that's why it's look like complicated, but it's great. Okay, now let's run our server. So this is nothing but a client itself. So we can running this out, and after that you can basically testing these things. That's super simple. Okay, so you can see, just to white, basically handle this thing in a two way actually handling these things. Okay, and you can see on here, just to white, because this is a socket, right? So because we are in the same server location, so you can easily handle it by JavaScript and also the Pythons. And also you can one more thing, you can see one more thing to notice, that is we give it here cross allows origin, or you can say codes, so that you can connect with the different origins, like because my server code is running in the Pythons and my client code is running in the JavaScript. So now I can basically copy this link, and I can follow the link on here. Okay, now I can just easily copy this out, and I can run it on here in a again in a different room. Okay, that you can see on here. So we have basically have two applications, you can see that, or you can also open in a different browsers. You can actually, okay, let's try to go in here. Now let's give it here a username, let's say Chando, and now let's give it here ROM name, let's say Mishu. Okay, so Mishu is nothing but by a ROM, so I can take there, let's say Adda, like that. Now I am just going to join it here. Now I join the rooms, and if I see on here nothing is here, so now let's say give it to here the name. So let's say give it to here Mishu, and now let's give it here Adda. Okay, I just give it here a wrong name and click on joins. Now you can say Mishu join the rooms, and if I go on here, you can say Chando join the rooms. Now if I send the message, let's say hello, hi there, and now if I click on send, then you can see message is sent. But if I go on here, you can see you don't see any kind of messages. Okay, now if I'm going to just make it adda like that, and now click on joins, and now I am join the rooms, and now if I send the message, you can me show join the rooms, right? So I can say that now hello, and if I click on send, now you can see on here message is sended. Now I can also send the message hello, I catch you like that, and now click on send. And now if I go on here, you can see Misu is I catch you. Okay, now if I go on here, if I leave the rooms, so you can see that Mishu left the rooms, that you can see on here. Okay, you can easily actually basically do that. So this is how our full application is look like. It's handled, and you can see this button and this button. It's basically coming from the servers. It's basically coming from this server.py. Okay, you can see in the server.py, it basically coming from here. You can see here. Okay, these things and these things as well, because we internally connected to the Flask socket IO. That's why to creating here the applications in the two different way, server.py and the index.html that you can see on here. So don't worry about this code. You will get this code in a video description as a GitHub link. You can easily grab the code from it here. Okay, don't worry about it. Okay, so that's it for today. Now I hope you enjoyed this full tutorial, and make sure to subscribe to the channel and share with your friends. And thank you, and bye bye.